Hey, what's up guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Faith and I am an online fashion reseller selling on Poshmark, eBay, and Mercari. In today's video, I'm going to take you sourcing with me at Nordstrom Rack for the Clear the Rack sale. Something you should know about me is I absolutely love sourcing retail arbitrage, and I've been getting a lot of requests to do more videos around retail arbitrage, kind of teaching how to do it and potentially doing taking you along with me. So I got the courage up to do it this time. I haven't been in a while just because sales haven't been great at the end of the holidays, but when I found out that the Clear the Rack sale was happening, I made sure that I went the very first day and I was going to take you with me. It's a little bit awkward filming in an actual retail store. It's for some reason not as awkward at Goodwill, so I definitely am going to show you guys not only what I do pick up, but also what I pass on and how I make those decisions so that hopefully you can learn how to do it for yourself. At the beginning, I'm going to start out at the tops and the sweaters and the dresses too, but I will let you in on a little secret. Those are going to be the section of the video on things that I pass on. I didn't find a lot of great deals, but I will definitely share with you how I made that decision. And then towards the end of the video, I really struck it big, so definitely stay to the end and see some of the awesome brands that I did end up finding and picking up. All right, let's get into the video. So these are all Nordstrom house brands that I kind of just skip over. The Gray is a good brand to sell, however this was a Hawaiian top and there was two of them, which probably means it's oversaturated. Reese is another great brand to look into, but this price wasn't low enough for me. It was only 60-something% off, and that's not enough for me to pick up. Rag & Bone, I don't pick up retail arbitrage or thrifting. The retail value is just way too much. This would have to be like 90% off for me to pick it up. Ben's is also kind of in that same category for me where I'm not really picking it up that much anymore, but it was 77% off plus an additional 25. That wasn't a bad price. It just wasn't a piece that would fit in my closet and a brand I love to sell. Now's a great time to find highly discounted jackets and coats. I found this North Face, which is a great brand. It just was way too expensive for me to pick up. I haven't checked comps yet on any of the items that I found just because in my head I know that they're too expensive based off of my reselling knowledge. Everlane is one of my favorite brands to resell. However, it doesn't retail for a lot of money, so you really have to be getting at a thrift store. As you see, this price is just way too expensive because it only retails for $56, and I just wasn't really interested in that return. I went over to the dresses section. Here's another Everlane dress. There was like 6 of this dress. Whenever there's multiples, that is just bad news. Don't even consider it, and 62% off wasn't enough. I'm looking for more like 75 to 80% off even with the Clear the Rack sale. This is a Rails dress, 72% off. That could work if it was a different brand, but I don't really love Rails. Look how beautiful this Gucci dress is. Oh my gosh. And it actually was a decent price. Like if I, had the capital and I was balling like that as a reseller, I would consider picking this up. So I came across this Veronica Beard dress. Veronica Beard is definitely a BOLO brand, especially in the dress category. The price, it was 78% off plus an additional 25 would have made it be $79. It's a size 4, so I decided to check comps on it. The nice thing about retail arbitrage is the style name is on the tag, so I'm filtering, taking my size out of there, and I only see one size 4. I go to check that one listing that has various sizes just to see if there's a 4 in there, and there's not. So it's not oversaturated from what I see. I go to check solds, but the sold price on that is not great. So now I'm calculating what I would need to sell it for based off of the price. So right now I'm just calculating the additional 25% off, which comes to $79 like I said. So to double my money, I divide by 0.5, so I'd need to sell it for $158 to double it, but I need to take into account the Poshmark fees, so I would need to sell it for $197.05. Based on this one sold listing of $115, I decided to pass. The next dress I decided to check comps on was this Saloni dress. Saloni is definitely a brand to be on the lookout for. The price on this would have been $101, so I'd need to sell it for $253 in order to double my money. I went ahead and I checked comps on the exact style name, and nothing was popping up, so maybe nothing was listed for this exact style. So I checked the solds to see what things were selling for. I filtered by new with tags to get a better idea of what this dress would go for. And right away, I was seeing that comps weren't anywhere near close at $253. The ones that were close were more long midi dresses. Longer dresses tend to sell for more money. So I was not, too happy with the comps that I was seeing, and I decided not to pick this dress up. And then found 3 Reformation dresses all on one rack, and I was so sad that none of them were on sale. Hey guys, it's me. If you could just take like a half a second, if you're enjoying this video, give it a thumbs up and hit subscribe if you don't want to miss any more reseller content with me. I would really, really appreciate it. All right, let's get back into it. I headed over to the shoe section. I found these Moschino slingback mules. They were so cute and on trend. They were only 49% off though, so I didn't pick them up, but I'm trying to move into more designer items. I did find these Jimmy Choo flats though, and I was so excited. I definitely checked comps on these. After the additional discount, they were listed or priced at $143. So to double my money, I'd have to sell them for $358. They are a size 8. So right now, as I'm checking comps, I'm searching to see if any of this exact same style is listed in a size 8. So right here, I'm very happy with this listing and what they are pricing it at, because that is around the range that I would want to list my shoes at. And as I'm searching, I'm not seeing a lot of the same style, which is great, and none of the listings that I see in the same style are the exact same size that I have. So right away, I'm getting excited, and I am deciding that I'm probably going to purchase them, but I have to see what they are actually selling for. So I filter by sold. I probably should have filtered by solds new with tags, because that's what mine are. I see this sale right here. It sold for $420. That's the exact same style I have, so I definitely picked these up. Scanning, looking for some more shoes. I found these Vince Camuto booties. I don't pick up Vince Camuto ever. Also, I think snakeskin is a little bit overdone now. I think it's definitely going to be a trend we see fading out. These are Madewell booties. I definitely pick up Madewell, but 60% off was just definitely not enough for me to pick up, even with the sale. These are Franco Sarto boots. I really don't pick up Franco Sarto, even though those are like $6 or $8 or whatever, but just because it's cheap doesn't mean I want to pick it up, because I have to store it and list it, and there's a lot of work that goes into it as well. So I'm definitely, even if it's cheap, I don't pick it up. Madden Girl, I pick it up if it's cute, but it's got to be really cheap and super trendy. Those were kind of a basic black mule. I don't go out of my way to pick up Mark Fisher, but these boots were super on trend. I did check comps down. They were only selling for about $30 to $50. I did end up picking up these Sam Edelman sandals. They were $29, but after I took them home and did more research, I decided to return them just because the comps didn't look as good as I thought. This style boot is definitely a blogger favorite, so if you can find this for a decent price, I highly recommend picking it up. Those are too expensive, but I did kind of want them for myself. Here's just more shoes that I pass on. Naturalizer, another Vince Camuto, MIA, what else? Chinese Laundry. These Jeffrey Campbell shoes have actually sold before, though they took a while to sell, so I didn't pick them up again. Everything that I found from here on out was absolute gold. I found these Sorel boots, which I've actually never found or sold Sorel. These are kind of like a unicorn in my book, but these ended up being $57, so I had to sell them for $143 in order to double my money, which is pretty easy for Sorel's new with tags, and the box was also there, so I went ahead and checked comps, even though I kind of knew I was going to pick them up anyways just because I was so excited. But Sorel's sell super fast and for great money, and these are new with tags, so it kind of is a no-brainer in my book. Pro tip, check the very top row and the very bottom row, because that's where some of the hidden gems can be. These are Fry boots. So they were $69, so I had to sell them for $173 in order to double my money, so I definitely picked these up. Blackstone is definitely a BOLO brand to look up. Ignore that Vans tag, the Blackstone tag is what it looks like. These are Bedstoop boots, huge BOLO brand if you can find them. So these were $57. I'd have to sell them for $143 to double my money. So I went ahead and I checked comps. These are a size 6, so I checked the exact style name, and not a lot of results were popping up. So I wasn't getting a clear picture. Unfortunately, those were a size 6, which kind of sucked, but that person wasn't sharing their closet a lot, so I felt like I could compete with them. So I erased the exact style name just to get a better feel of what this brand and general style was selling for. And based off of the listings, I was really happy with the results. I filtered by new with tags to kind of see what a new item would be listed for. I checked sold comps, and I was super happy with what I was seeing, so I did decide to pick these up. Aquatalia is a great shoe brand to pick up, but these weren't marked down enough. They were just too expensive to resell. I found these Tory Burch flats. Tory Burch flats sell amazingly well. These were $57. I'd have to sell them for $143 in order to have a 50% profit margin. So I went ahead and I checked comps. I'm filtering through. There's a lot of used items. I didn't see very many of this exact same style, new with tags, and these were a size 6. So I went ahead and I checked sold comps. Filtered by new with tags, because again, a lot of these were used items, and the comps weren't amazing, but I didn't need to double my money necessarily because the profits would be higher. I touch on this a little bit at the end of the video. I found these Eileen Fisher booties. I am not a huge fan of selling Eileen Fisher. I know it does well for some people in some closets, but it's not really a brand that I am over the moon about. These were $40, and so I'd have to sell them for $100 in order to double my money. I went ahead and I did check comps. There were a lot of these items available. I don't know that I'd say necessarily oversaturated, but a little bit more than I'd want, and they were not selling for $100. I found these tall, white, kind of 70s inspired boots, which are super on trend right now. These are a size 8.5 too, which is a great size to pick up. These boots were $45, so I'd have to sell them for $113 to double my money, but since they're in high demand right now, I definitely went for it. So here's a view of all the shoes that I ended up picking up. I did get the bedstew boots, I just kind of forgot, so I went back and got those, and as a reminder, I did end up returning those Sam Edelman sandals. But yeah, here's everything that I got, and I was so happy with all the brands that I was able to find during the Clear the Rack sale. Alright, so that is how everything went. I showed you the items that I ended up picking up. I spent a total of $411.40. I added up, everything's already listed in my closet if you want to go check it out. I'll, in the description, my Poshmark closet is linked. The total value for all the sales, like before fees, offers, cost of goods, is $1,205. So at the end of when it's all said and done, I will double my money or more. Some things that I want to know is that obviously you are paying more when you're doing retail arbitrage per item. But because of that, it's going to be less competitive because there is a higher barrier to entry, because not everyone is going to be willing to invest that much money up front. Either they just don't want to take the risks, they don't feel comfortable with it, which hopefully you do after watching this video. But when you are willing to make that investment, your profit, your net profit is going to be so much higher. Now I am willing, typically I try to shoot for like a 50% profit margin, but for items like this, I'm willing to take a cut and maybe do like a 45 or 40% margin because your net profit is going to be so much higher. So for me, I would rather have a lower margin and make $50 profit from one item instead of having like a 70% profit margin but only making $20 for one per item. So there's just some things to consider there, but that is one of the big reasons why I love retail arbitrage. It is also not as likely for things to be oversaturated when you're picking up higher end items. Now at TJ Maxx it's a little bit different because a lot of those items aren't really designer, and so those items might get saturated along with some of the lower price items at Nordstrom Rack. But if you're picking up, based on this video, I picked up Fry, Bedstew, Jimmy Choo. Those items are not at every single Nordstrom Rack, and a lot of and they're not as common. So none of those items, as you saw, were oversaturated. So it makes it a lot safer bet when picking things up. So yeah, those are just some of the takeaways that I wanted to share at the end of the video. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you guys next week.